Welcome to Crossbody of Work. My name is Evan.
I am Javier.
Everybody shut up. It's Haas month. Get in.
Everyone, be quiet. Put your head down. Get your weight up because Haas month has rolled around.
Haas 5 is here. We are so back. If you do not know and you have not participated in a Haas month in years past, 1, welcome. We accept all comers. 2, this is the month where exclusively on this podcast we cover the biggest and baddest. It is all beefy people wrestling. Now, it doesn't guarantee that they will only be wrestling against other beefy people. No, the beefy people, in order to be seen as beefy, must go up against the normal people. But everyone we cover is going to be big, and we start this month with Ryback.
Feed me more.
We will feed Ryback as much as he deserves. Before we get into everything, hey, you should follow the podcast wherever you're listening. Crossbody of Work on Twitter, on Instagram. You should subscribe. You should buy the merch. You should do all these cool things. Tell us who you want us to cover. We obviously have Haas month all planned out, including the fact that we will start the Brock Lesnar 3-parter at the end of this month. If you like big, sweaty boys, big, beefy boys, big, meaty boys slap meat, you should go back and check out all of our old August episodes. They're available wherever. Go and listen to all of our August content. It's all the biggest Haas wrestlers you can find. Now,
Hosses of all sizes.
Of all shapes and kinds. What do you know about Ryback?
I know that he once put out a poll saying, where should the big guy go? And everyone told him to retire.
You should not put a retirement option if you don't want people to tell you to retire. Don't give people the opportunity to troll you.
Here's the thing. Like, I don't know if he wrestles anymore, and don't tell me. I'll find out at the end of this episode, just like everybody else. But, like, he left WWE, and all my life, aside from Twitter, I don't know if he's ever done anything.
He wrestled on the Independents for a couple of years. I don't want to spoil it for you, but yeah, he's wrestled on the Independent for a couple of years, but didn't actually do much.
So the big guy didn't retire.
The big guy did not listen to his the people.
Damn, crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Unbelievable.
It's pretty frustrating.
What is it? Skip Sheffield. He was in NXT. He wore a singlet, and then he started like slapping his head and going, "Feed me more," and he got really over for some reason.
We're gonna talk about that. He got really fucking over. Ryback Allen Reeves. His name is Ryback. He changed his name to Ryback. His name before was Ryan. They put him on Wikipedia as a former professional wrestler and YouTuber. So we are just like Ryback.
Ryback just like me for real.
Ryback just like me for real. The thing to know about Ryback is that he was in development for a while. He was in developmental for a long time. So he was one of the 8 finalists on Tough Enough 4. Tough Enough 4
was 2007?
Tough Enough 4, I believe, was 2002.
Wait, what?
Oh, no, wait, hold on. No, there was multiple winners each year.
2002, wasn't
1, 2, 3, 4. 2004 was Tough Enough 4. Yeah, man. It was interesting.
Who won that one?
Daniel Puder.
He was in the Daniel Puder season of Tough Enough?
I believe so.
Holy crap, man.
If I'm reading this correctly, then he was in the Daniel Puder.
That's insane for me to hear, for the fact that Daniel Puder is iconic for being in my personal favorite number 1, aka the best Royal Rumble of all time.
Yeah, he was in that one. So he was in the same one that had Daniel Puder and The Miz.
That's wow. Okay, if you had told me to guess when I thought Ryback got signed by WWE, it would have been like 2009, probably. I don't know.
So he sent in a 1-minute videotape that was enough for him to become a contestant on Tough Enough 4. He, during the first week of training, suffered from bronchitis and a rib injury, but then still became one of the 8 finalists, which is cool. He did not win the competition, but he was impressive enough that they signed him to a developmental contract. He spent some time healing his injuries before heading to Atlanta, Georgia in March of 2005 is when he started in developmental.
You go healing his injuries. Didn't you tell me he had like bruised ribs and bronchitis?
Apparently he had some other injuries. So, yeah. After
Okay.
So he was in OVW for a while. He had like a year absence at one point. He came back under the name Ryback and won the OVW Heavyweight Championship in October of 2008. He lost it the same month. He re-signed to another developmental contract. And then from late 2008 to early 2010, he wrestled in FCW under the name Ryback and then Skip Sheffield. Our first match is a tag match in FCW, undated. It's sometime in 2009. Quite the combo of people in this match. We have Ryback teaming up with Big E Langston against Alex Riley and Vance Archer, aka Lance Archer.
What is that WCW tournament where you got randomly paired with people?
Oh, the Lethal Lottery.
This is Lethal Lottery, but NXT. Like,
Yeah.
this is freaking weird. Like, Ryback and Biggie, sure, you could say, oh, big meaty men in a
Big meaty
match.
men. Yeah.
That's cool. What the fuck do Vance Archer and Alex Riley have in common here? What are we doing?
They both do CrossFit at the same gym. I don't know.
My first note is, damn, a short but beefy tag team.
Also, this is Skip Sheffield version of Ryback. We'll talk about Skip Sheffield in the promo that we're going to look at. And he comes out yelling, "Yep, yep, yep." This man loves to yep, yep, yep.
You heard of yes, yes, yes. We've got a yep, yep, yep.
Can I interest you in a yep, yep, yep?
No, you cannot. Every time I see a young,
do you know where yep, yep, yep is really should be from? You know,
No.
there was a cartoon movie. I don't know. You're a young person. You may not have seen these. Called The Land Before Time.
The dinosaur movies?
The dinosaur movies. And Ducky.
Yes.
Ducky would always say yep, yep, yep. And that's the real shit right there. Not Ryback, not Skip Sheffield, Ducky.
R.I.P. to Ducky.
Actually, all right. If you don't know, if you want to ruin your day,
nope, no. We're not ruining this to people.
I'm not going to put it in the podcast, but I just want to say, if you want to ruin your day, go and learn about the child actor who played Ducky.
Don't do that.
Okay,
I'm telling you guys all right now.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
What'd you think of the match?
Land Before Time. It's great. I don't know. It's a developmental match. Like,
it's very much a developmental match.
Like, Big East, they're very green. Ryback has always been green, so that it's not doing much there. Vance Archer is very much trying to work on a shit-eating, just grinding heel who tries to do underhand tactics, and Alex Riley's a cocky SOB who's not really good at working.
That's true.
So Alex Riley mix that all together, and we've got this match.
Alex Riley, I think, had everything except the wrestling skill. I genuinely think that.
Alex Riley had everything except the ability to do professional wrestling.
Early on, it's just Sheffield and Big E both hitting shoulder blocks. Big E hits a big shoulder tackle to Archer, scoop slam. Archer with a big boot after avoiding a slam from Sheffield. They kind of work Skip Sheffield for a little bit with some quick tags. And then there's a double crossbody spot. Both Sheffield and I believe Riley are down. Hot tag to Big E is not as good as hot tags to Big E will get in the future.
Yes. We get a belly to belly, though, for a near fall.
That's nice. Little side belly to belly. Alex Riley hits a cool fucking move.
Yeah, he rakes the eyes of Big E, then does a neck breaker, but from the Dominator position.
It's exactly what I wrote, and I was like, that's actually rad. That's a cool move.
That was pretty cool. The fact that he's able to get him up there, too. Big E's not a small boy.
Big E's huge.
Big guy. He's probably, 270?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, he's up there. He's not that tall. I think he's only 5'11" or something like that, but beefy boy. We'll have his episode someday.
God, I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. The heels win. Skip Sheffield is upset with Big E, but we did not get a heel turn. I don't believe. I don't know. I cut out of there.
We don't. Okay. I was mainly because I wanted to find something of Ryback in FCW, and the only things were this and I think a singles match that was like a squash match essentially. And I saw this. I was like, well, I'm not going to deny myself young Big E.
Big E.
I'm not going to do that to myself. I love Big E. He's 23 in this match. Yeah. He's fresh out of Iowa.
Big E went to Iowa?
Big E was a defensive tackle at Iowa.
He was a Hawkeye?
He was a Hawkeye.
For some reason in my mind, I thought he went to Florida State.
He redshirted in 04.
I know that's Ron Simmons, but I thought he also went to...
Missed the 05 season due to an injury in preseason, and then played his redshirt sophomore season, and then graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree, then went into powerlifting.
Good for him, man.
Yeah. Biggie fucking rules. That remains. Skip
5'11" defensive tackle, man.
just
Wild.
stout. Just stout. I fucking love that.
I say that. Aaron Donald's like 6 feet tall.
You and I have been playing a lot of college football, obviously. There's nothing I like more than a guy who is the wrong size for his position and being like, I can make that work. I'm like,
I have a
ooh, a
massive.
6'4" corner? Get over here.
Oh, brother, I think on my team I have like a 6'6" wide receiver. I'm like, I don't even know what to do with you.
Oh, we're close to getting North Texas that ship, baby. Don't worry. So Skip Sheffield would participate in NXT. He would be one of the 8 FCW contestants to take part in the first season of NXT. Do you remember where he finished?
He didn't.
Well, do you know where he was voted out in NXT?
Was he like 5th?
He was 6th overall, so he was the 3rd person voted out.
Okay.
So we're going to take a look at the Skip Sheffield package because all of the rookies, they had to have a promo package to learn about them. And there's one about Skip Sheffield. It's 90 seconds long and it feels like it's 3 years.
The corn-fed meathead
Is a good name. I will stand on business. That is a good gimmick
Why
name.
didn't we give that to Brock?
Why don't we give it to a Creed brother?
No.
They're not meatheady enough, really.
Are they really that corn-fed either? Like, you know?
Otis. Why doesn't Otis have it?
He's definitely a meathead.
The corn-fed meathead rules. They also call him the muscle with hustle.
All right.
They're cutting promos like Ric Flair.
If you good people want to put some pep in your step, can I hear a yep, yep, yep?
So this happens sometimes. You know, I think it's in Grown Ups. You've seen Grown Ups?
Yeah, I have, and Grown Ups too.
You know when they're at the pool and there's the hot lifeguard and all the moms are like, "Oh my god, he's so hot," and then he's got like a Saskatoon accent.
Hey, you ladies are from I'm from Saskatoon.
It's a flawless Saskatchewan impression, by the way.
Well, I just did him because he has like the squeaky voice.
He does have a squeaky voice, but that's exactly how everyone from Saskatchewan sounds. That's what I think of when I see a man who looks like Ryback say, if anyone wants to get some pep in their step, let me hear you say, yep, yep, yep. What are you, a black-eyed pea? Get the fuck out of here.
All right, well, I am.
Apple D app? Get out of here. Do you remember the 3rd black-eyed pea who's not Fergie?
Oh, fuck. I was going to say Fergie. No, I don't, because I did. My next one would have been Apple Diap.
This is
forget the other guy.
This is Taboo Erasure.
Steve Taboo.
His name is Taboo. So in the promo package, they have all the different like mentors from NXT, and they're talking about Ryback. And genuinely, Christian's like, I like Ryback. I think he's got some things working for him. Even William Regal says nice things, and that was his
do you think
pro.
Ryback has his father? Do you think his father's alive?
I mean, I could look that up and see.
Do you think he had a good, solid paternal figure growing up?
I maybe.
Hey, Ryback, you had a shitty father. I'll be your father. That's what Christian's thinking.
Yeah, that is what Christian's.
Like,
he was always planning this.
I see a lot in this kid. I could be his dad.
Matt Hardy calls him an interesting character, which is rich coming from someone who would eventually create the Broken Universe. And Punk, Jericho, and Miz do not like him.
Miz especially is like, fuck this guy. Like, I can't stand him. Miz would know better than most. I mean, he was in Tough Enough with him.
I understand that this is the gimmick. Like, Punk and Jericho and Miz are all different types of heels at this given time. However, it's very funny to see Punk's face where he's like, can I say a nice thing about Ryback? He would famously go on to say not nice things about Ryback. But they say, like, if there's anyone who can help him in the ring, it's William Regal. And there's some clips of Regal and, like, trying to coach Ryback to stop being a meathead, essentially.
Well, Regal doesn't like him. That's what I got from this. He does not believe in the guy, clearly. He says he's a lot smarter than people think, and in the coming weeks, people are going to get to know the real Skip Sheffield, what it do.
The second I heard Skip Sheffield say what it do, my only note was, nope.
What it do.
So he obviously would end up being part of the group called Nexus.
Drive slow, homie. You never know.
It's a
homie.
great song.
You never
Um,
know.
they would debut. They did the whole thing. They destroyed the ring. It was awesome. Daniel Bryan tried to kill Justin Roberts. He got fired. They did this.
I always forget that Skip Sheffield was a part of that. I'm not
They
gonna
did
lie
the
to you.
7-on-7 match. They lost to John Cena. He broke his ankle during a match in August, which actually made him undergo 3 surgeries, kept him away from wrestling for a year until
Damn.
December 2011. We will take a break. When we get back, we have the debut of Ryback. Back from the break, and Ryback would debut on the WWE SmackDown episode on April 6th, 2012, with the Ryback gimmick against a man named Barry Stevens. 160 pounds of blood, sweat, and fear. He is here, baby. He is ready to rock and roll.
He's built like Stokely Hathaway, and he looks like fucking Jay Lethal.
He's
If Jay Lethal had a list.
He's built like you fucked up the sliders on The Sims 4.
The Sims character you fucked up was Jay Lethal. Barry Stevens with a lisp. He's getting cooked by everyone in the back. He's getting cooked by everyone in the audience.
Did you see the people who were cooking him in the back? I took note of who was back there.
It's like Jay Uso. I'm pretty sure I saw Camacho.
So
for those who don't know Camacho, that's Tongaloa.
So there's Hunico and Camacho. There's both Usos. Yeah. There's Caitlyn. Yeah. There's Alicia Fox. And there's Derek Bateman, aka EC3. It's just like popping in at the back a little bit, like, hey guys, I'm still here. What's up, guys? What are you guys doing?
What you guys up to? Hey, my ooses.
What's up, my ooses?
What's up, my ooses?
My uses?
My ussies. To Barry Stevens says that we're supposed to be the nicest. These are supposed to be some of the nicest people in the world, but these are the rudest people on earth.
Derek Bateman calling someone an ussy is the greatest thing I've ever heard. Barry Stevens is cutting a promo.
What are you doing there, you ussy?
Here comes the debuting Ryback. He cuts him off. Ryback is announced as being from Sin City. What do you think of the Ryback theme?
It's like, I don't like it, but at the same time, it's like always stuck in my head whenever I hear it.
I like the beat. I genuinely hate the amount of times it repeats "Feed Me More." I hate that it's so many times.
More.
This match is a squash of all squashes, and that's what Ryback did for a while.
Corner shoulder charges, some clubbing shots, and effortless military press slam.
Yep.
And then I wrote here, I forget what he calls his finisher, but he hits it.
Shell shock.
Learned it was called shell shock. Which for those who don't know, he just stomps around and then hits basically a Samoan drop from the torture rack position.
Yeah, a fisherman Samoan drop. He always has the one leg.
Yeah. And yeah, 1, 2, 3. Obviously Barry Stevens didn't win this match.
No, poor Barry Stevens.
Again, he's built like Stokely Hathaway.
I don't think he had much of a chance. Ryback would go on a winning streak. Do you know how many matches in a row Ryback would win going into our next match?
I'm assuming they inflated the number, so 55.
They did not inflate the number. It was 38.
Okay.
Yeah. He would go on a 38-match winning streak heading into Hell in the Cell 2012. He would challenge. So he debuts in April, and by October, he's challenging for the WWE Championship. And if anyone knows anything about 2012 WWE, you know we were in the midst of CM Punk's reign with the WWE Championship. It's Punk versus Ryback. What do you think of Ryback going right to the world title picture like this?
I respect it. I mean, they gave him a little bit of a buffer. He went through the entire summer and all that jazz, just building up some credibility before this happened. My issue is that he sucked, so I didn't want him in the match for that reason. I also don't like that this is a Hell in a Cell match because I understand the gimmick. All right, I know it's a pay-per-view. It's got to have Hell in a Cell matches, all that stuff, yada, yada. But there's no, like, beef here, you know? I hate when they do that. Like, I don't want a match to be in Hell in a Cell just because, you know? Like, give me some going into it. Don't just put the title in the Hell in a Cell match just because it's the title. If it doesn't need it, no. Give me something in there. Like, I don't care if it's the freaking fourth story being told on Raw. If there's some fucking heat there.
If there's heat.
Blood. put that in the cage match. That's just what it's got to be.
So looking at Hell in a Cell 2012, I also hate branded pay-per-views like this. I hate that we have to fit something in.
I'm okay with TLC though, to be fair.
Yeah, that's more. That also feels less personal. TLC feels different. In terms of Hell in a Cell matches, I don't think there's anything that warrants a Hell in a Cell match.
What do we got?
The World Heavyweight title was Big Show defeating Sheamus.
That was a hell of a match.
It was a good match.
That was the one that we covered. It was Sheamus.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a match.
I mean, that's
one of the best matches Big Show's ever had.
Kofi Kingston versus The Miz for the IC title. Rhodes Scholars versus Team Hell No for the tag titles.
Is that the one where Team Hell No wins?
No, that's the one where Rhodes Scholars win by DQ.
Okay, so they win the next go around. Okay.
Cesaro defending the U.S. title against Justin Gabriel. Eve Torres versus Caitlyn and Layla.
Hey, man, that could have been in Hell in a Cell.
Where are you? I'm in hell. Punk and Heyman. Good combo. Great combo. Love it.
Listen, you put Heyman with someone who can actually talk, and I think it's just but like we saw it with the Roman Reigns thing. The tribal chief could cut his own damn promos. He didn't need Paul Heyman to do it for him, but it
adds to him.
Always adds.
The thing we need to acknowledge, as much as we say like, oh, maybe Ryback got there too early. Maybe that's the thing. Ryback is over as fuck.
He's so fucking over. It's insane.
The feed me more chants are loud. The pop when his music hits are loud. And I think the greatest comp for Ryback. Ready?
Ooh, sports comp or like
No, not sports comp. But around the same time frame of the universe, something that we were all into, or not maybe all, but lots of people were into.
Are you about to tell me that he's on his Linsanity run?
No. Oh. No. But then looking back, we're like, oh, fuck, should we have liked that as much? I don't think it was that good. Oh, no. Ryback might be Macklemore. Where everyone was like, this is pretty good. This is good.
No, because in the end, we ended up liking Macklemore because of that song he made about Palestine.
That's what I'm thinking. Is Ryback going to all of a sudden turn cool?
No, I don't think so. No.
But in terms of the way that we were like, Macklemore is good. And then we all went, wait,
I have
fuck.
an even better one.
Hit me.
What is that fucking song? That's somebody that you used to know.
Gautier?
Is he Gautier?
Yeah.
Did he just get hot for like that one little second, and then we're just like...
I swear to God, Gautier showed up, dropped one banger that got stuck in our head, and left back to Belgium. He was like, see ya. And yes, I Googled where Gautier was from while we were doing that. All right. So, Ryback over as hell. Punk hated. People did not like CM Punk.
No, because he turned heel.
And was doing a good job at being heel. CM Punk is good at being heel.
Oh, by the way, JBL dropped the greatest line he's ever done in the history of his commentary run. He starts off by saying, Matt Striker is as bad as my commentary during that Divas match.
A self-aware king. What do you think of the actual action here?
I didn't even have that many notes. That's how little I think about the action here.
The beginning of the match is Punk avoiding Ryback. And then once Ryback gets him, it's a double hand choke. He tosses Punk in the turnbuckle. Punk goes for a tornado DDT, and Ryback just launches him.
Doesn't do it. Is this the match where Punk was like, don't hurt me, and Ryback still hurt him?
I think that was every single time they fought.
I don't know how many times they fought, man. At one point...
In different combinations, at least a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, there's the, what's it called? The match, the Survivor Series match or the Shield debut.
Exactly. He has this one, the Survivor Series match, and then the January 7th episode of Raw the next year. All of them for the title.
That might have been the one that he got hurt in. Punk uses a fire extinguisher to blind Ryback, rams him into the cage. He grabs a chair, and then Ryback does the meat hook to the chair right into Punk. And I was like, that didn't look good for Punk. Didn't look good.
No,
man.
It didn't look good. Punk with diving attacks to Ryback from the top rope. Third tempo Ryback catches him, drives him in the corner. We get a quick heel kick by Punk. He's doing some like dodges, like he avoids at ringside. Ryback goes shoulder first into some seal steps. Punk hits the elbow drop from the top rope. And I was like, every time I see Punk hit the elbow drop, I'm like, yeah. It's like if Derrick Rose drops 20, you're like, yeah, do it, old head.
With it though is like, This doesn't look very good.
No, I just like when he does it, though. I know it means a lot to him. I
Yeah,
like
sure,
it.
man.
I like it.
Sure.
And then
Punk
Io Sky shows up and just like, ah, and you're like, oh shit.
Punk has a kendo stick. He starts hitting Ryback with it, but Ryback just starts no selling the shots like he's fucking Sting.
Yep.
He grabs it, he like breaks it over his knee, tosses it to the side. He just starts slamming Punk around. He hits a meat hook. I think he just hits one. I don't know if he goes for another
He
one.
goes back body drop, spine buster, meat hook.
Okay. Shell shock. He gets him up. He's stomping around. He turns back to the hard cam. The ref stops him. He goes, oh, 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 oh. And then the low blows him. And then that's when I noticed Brad Maddox was the referee this whole time.
I didn't say anything in case you had it later in your notes, but one of the first things I clocked was like, who's that referee with a very full head of hair? Because here's the thing about the refs. They don't usually have the full head of hair. If they do, it's short. They don't let the refs have cool long hair. Brad Maddox had like a cool mane of hair.
Disrespect to
The Lil
Lil
Nate.
Nate.
The only exception being the Ric Flair cosplayer himself, Lil Nate.
Roll up by Punk. 1, 2, 3. He wins. He retains. Him and Maddox try to leave. Ryback gets up, absolutely destroys them, especially Maddox.
Maddox gets hit with a meat hook clothesline so hard, and then gets tossed from the ring into the cage. Just clean out of the ring into steel. It was so good. Punk goes on top of the cell because he gets out of the cell, but not far enough. Also, Heyman abandons the scene. Heyman is not about to get caught by Ryback.
Yeah, you saw what happened to him with the fucking Samoans. You think he wants to go through with any of that torture?
No, thank you. Punk is like, my solution is to go up. That is surely the greatest place to be. Ryback chases him up there. What's he do when he gets up there?
I didn't write this down. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You didn't? Did you not stay?
I didn't stay.
That motherfucker. He hits a shell shock.
I saw him beating up on Brad Maddox, and I was like, I'm good.
He hits a shell shock on the top of the cell.
Oh, I'm shocked that Punk didn't fall through it.
Yeah, no. He positioned himself on top of one of the squares that I was like, does Punk fall through here? I don't think he falls through here.
No,
but then
that would be like something that they still show on like Twitter, at least, not even just the company.
I feel like this is one of those matches people are like, remember when Ryback had a Hell in a Cell match against CM Punk like a month before the Shield debuted? And we'd all be like, huh, that was weird.
Remember when Ryback was there during the WWE Championship match for the Shield debut?
So this is right before I get back into wrestling. I get back into wrestling in January of this year.
I'm not even here.
And I remember being like, or I guess I get back into wrestling I get back into wrestling the next year. I get back into wrestling around December 2013, January 2014. That's when I get back into wrestling.
This is probably about when I left. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was somewhere in 2012 that I bowed out.
And then
full time. I was already a part-time player at that point.
Ryback was one of these new people that I was like, okay, he seems to like matter. Like I got to really look into like, why does he matter? And I was looking at some of the stuff. I'm like, this is all the same. This is all very, very similar. You know what I mean?
A lot of Goldberg chants.
Not yet, but we're getting there. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we have more Ryback and a lot more Goldberg chants. Back from the break, I mentioned already, Ryback failed to capture the title 2 more times from CM Punk. Once was Survivor Series, which was the debut of the Shield, which was very cool. And they almost had Riot Shields, which is one of my favorite stories, that they almost had little Riot Shields, and they were going to debut and be like, ooh, look at us. We have shields. We're the Shield. And immediately would have killed them.
My favorite thing is that they didn't want, I don't think they took Roman Reigns at first. They were like, it's going to be the big show.
No, they wanted
Punk wanted Chris Hero.
Punk wanted Chris Hero.
Wanted Big Show at first, and then it just became Roman Reigns because Punk was like, no, it should be someone in developmental. So they were like, and then he suggested Chris Hero, and they were like, no, let's put Roman Reigns in there.
Honestly, WWE was right there. They were wrong at first, very wrong, but they were right then. I also I don't know if people are watching on the YouTube, but if they are, I want to just acknowledge the fact that Javier looks like a fucking offensive coordinator right now. The man's got the headset on over the hat, and it's very strong NCAA recruiting vibes. He's about to send the house to me right now.
I have a recruit. I'm a recruiter at every single coach that I make.
Absolutely. You need
Every
that.
single
You
coach.
need that.
I have maxed out all the recruiting stuff. The only reason I can't get into the elite tiers because I don't have top 5 recruiting classes yet because I chose to go to the Sun Belt and Conference USA. Um, but we're working on it, baby.
As
We're working
somebody
on it.
actively building up North Texas to hopefully get an invite to like the Big 12 in the future, like I feel you. I feel you.
I still can't believe that I went like 9-3 and won the Bahama Bowl with Troy and somehow got an offer to be the head coach of the number 1 ranked team in the country, Florida.
I will say that the coaching carousel is broken. Very, very broken. All
But
right,
who
speaking of
cares? It's fun and great, and this is how you end up with Lamont Page's 5-star quarterback from Vermont that's blonde.
and honestly, the gameplay is fun.
It's
The
so
gameplay
fun.
is
I have so
very,
much fun with
very
this game.
fun.
Anyways, enough of us talking about
God,
NCAA
no, I want to go
25.
back.
Let's talk about John Cena.
Okay, well, we're gonna talk about Ryback first for a little bit more. So, do you remember what Ryback's first WrestleMania is?
Ooh, is that the Mark Henry match?
It is WrestleMania 29 against Mark Henry. Consider putting that in simply for the beef on beef action, but there was more things I wanted to do. We wanted to get a little bit of SCW. We wanted to get his debut on the main roster, all that good stuff. So
Confirmed
they
about that.
had the feud. Um, the part of the feud that happened that I forgot because I wasn't watching at the time and didn't really dive that deep into it. Part of their feud was they went back and forth hitting Drew McIntyre with their finishers, which I find very funny because now Drew McIntyre is Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre, who main evented WrestleMania, winning the Universal title off Brock Lesnar, and also won the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania this year.
Yeah.
He lost it right away,
So
but still won it.
they hit Drew McIntyre with a bunch of finishers. They then had a match where Ryback defeated Henry by DQ following interference from the Shield on SmackDown. Henry then hit the World's Strongest Slam to Ryback 3 times in a row. They then competed in a bench press challenge. I love when WWE is like, here's an arm wrestling. Here's a random fucking thing.
My
Ryback,
favorite thing is when Mark Henry's in these kind of things and somehow he's like about to lose.
he has to
So he
pull his
like
punches.
cheats.
Yeah, and that's exactly what
Which is
happens here.
hilarious. Like, do you really expect me to believe that Mark Henry's gonna lose a fucking arm wrestling challenge to John Cena?
In the
Or a
bench press
bench press
challenge,
challenge to Ryback? There's just no fucking way.
Ryback matched Mark Henry at 53 reps, and then Henry choked him with a weight.
Sure.
And then Ryback was defeated by Mark Henry in a singles match at
So
WrestleMania
53
29.
reps. Jesus Christ, was this thing 225 like it usually is?
I don't know, but it scares me
There's
if it
no
is.
fucking way if it's 225 and Ryback's pulling that.
But Mark Henry absolutely is.
Yeah, Mark Henry, I can believe.
The night after WrestleMania 29, Ryback saved John Cena from an assault by Mark Henry and then attacked Cena and turned heel. This is great. Ryback explained his attack on Cena as stepping out from his shadow and getting revenge for Cena for not having his back against the Shield, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but that's fine. Yeah, he became the number 1 contender for the championship. Ryback received his first title in the last man standing match at Extreme Rules. The match ended in no contest after Ryback ramped Cena and himself into the electric backdrop at the top of the ramp. Then we led to this match at Payback. It is a 3 stages of hell match for the WWE title. Ryback versus John Cena. Payback 2013.
Evan, hand to God, Allah, whatever deity out there or lack thereof.
Joe Pesci, yeah.
Joe Pesci, Chappelle Roan, whatever thing, higher being is out there.
Yeah.
You could have held a gun up to my head. Like the John Cena have a 3 stages of hell match with Ryback for the WWE Championship back in 2013. I'd probably be dead right now. I'd probably be dead right now.
So
because I would have been like, that's no, absolutely not. There's no fucking way.
That's preposterous. So the 3 stages of hell. Normally, the 3 stages of hell starts with just a singles match to be like, who's the better wrestler? They threw that out the window. They were like, okay, first match, people need a paycheck. So it's a lumberjack match. Second fall, tables match. Third fall, ambulance match.
Here's the thing. You have a 3 stages of hell match and somehow manage to choose the 3 worst fucking gimmicks for it.
Which leads to our fun game. Please fuck, marry, kill these 3 stipulations. Lumberjack, tables, ambulance match.
Here, I could hear the theme song in my head. You're just like,
It's just a jazzy version of the training montage from Rocky. Anyways, obviously, kill ambulance match, right? We're in agreement.
that is, I might shoot it 14 times. I might. What is it? Two in the chest, one in the head.
If I was in
That
a
ain't
room,
enough for me.
if I was in a room with Hitler and the ambulance match, and I had 2 bullets, or Hitler and ambulance match, and I had 1 bullet, I'd shoot the ambulance match.
If I had 2 bullets, I'd shoot the ambulance match twice.
Yes, that's the joke I was trying to land. All right,
Okay.
which one do you fucking marry?
I don't want to fuck a lumberjack match. I don't
That's
need
a
that.
lot.
That is either a human centipede or a gangbang, and I don't want to be any part of that.
And you can't fuck a table because then you're just like JD Vance. Just all of these inanimate objects.
All right. I guess I'm fucking the lumberjack match because I don't like it, but a tables match is better than a lumberjack.
And you need
match.
that long-term stability of having tables matches. Look at all these lumberjacks too. Like I'm looking at future main eventers, and I'm like, oh look, it's Jey Uso. Oh look, it's Sheamus. Oh look, it's Cody Rhodes. Oh look, it's Drew McIntyre.
Sheamus, Cody Rhodes, all these people who are very obviously WrestleMania main eventers are there, and then you're just like, oh, Jey Uso.
Dude, his name is Main Event Jey Uso. Obviously. I guess Jimmy's there too, but
Yeet.
fuck him.
Yeet.
I have the smallest complaint.
Go ahead.
Beanies are too small for Ryback's head. And he should not wear them to the ring.
WWE has a beanie problem.
Please explain their beanie problem.
Big Show, beanie way too small for him. Which I can understand it because he's a big guy, but have we ever looked at the Big Show's head? Big Show doesn't have that big of a head. It's not proportional to his body.
It's not proportional to his body. No.
But like Mark Henry has a bigger head than the Big Show, and I'm pretty sure Mark Henry could probably pull off a beanie.
Absolutely.
You know? So like, why can't the Big Show? Triple H back in the DX days, the
beanies, yeah,
redone DX when they basically just brought it back to sell glow sticks. He had a beanie, didn't fit him.
No, did not fit him.
Did not fit him at all. Brock Lesnar would come out with a beanie, didn't fit him either. What is the issue here?
We're trying to sell beanies, and we don't know how else to do that other than putting them on people.
Why can't we size them correctly? That is my issue here.
We have one size of beanie, and that's it.
You don't have to get a unisex one size fit all beanie. You could just get sizes of beanies.
I love that you can hear the boos get turned down when Cena comes out. Cena hits the stage, and you can hear them go, "Oh no!" Just turn that down. What month
is this?
Payback is 2013 or no 2013, but it's in April. May,
so this is
March,
just
May.
After Twice in a Lifetime. My issue with this entire match is that it exists.
It's in June of 2013.
Yeah, I mean this is about as hated as Cena's ever going to be.
Yeah,
it's after Twice in a Lifetime. The people already
pre-US Open Challenge, some cool Cena moments. Yeah,
we're still at the height of Cena being the guy. We don't get the 2015. John Cena is no longer really in the main event all that much. So, you know, we get to look at him fondly because he's not being elevated to that guy. And now we're all about to cry over the next year.
Yeah.
The issue is that we have super hated Cena.
Yeah.
And we have Ryback, who was over for a little bit, but then turned heel. And now we're just like,
Goldberg.
Why the fuck is this guy here?
Yeah.
Also, this is how RVD's return happens.
What do you mean?
They just announced, Rob Van Dam is here.
No. They're talking about Money in the Bank the next month, and they say that that's the return of Rob Van Dam, which it was. They had announced that RVD would be returning at Money in the Bank. That's what it was.
They just out of the blue, just hey.
No. It had already been announced before.
I don't like that.
Yeah. Okay. Another thing I noticed, heel Ryback gets announced from Las Vegas, not Sin City. I'm like, okay. So
why is that different? Shouldn't it be?
It's not cool anymore. They're like, it's not Sin City. It's just Las Vegas. Fuck it.
Why if he's a babyface, why would it be cool if it's Sin City?
You can tell me you wouldn't rather be like, I'm from Sin City instead of Las Vegas? Sin City.
I'm telling you right now, if anyone ever tells me that they're from Sin City, the conversation's over. I can't go anywhere. Like, I'm not even going to say goodbye or anything. Like, I'm just turning around and walking away.
And then they whoosh their leather trench coat and they walk away. So early on, Ryback catches Cena with a
Delayed? Jesus.
tilt-a-whirl power slam for a 2. That's good stuff. I got a fall-away slam. I like fall-away slams. We're going to see a lot of them in Haas month because, fuck it, big people love fall-away slams.
Cena to suplex, a body slam, and a running elbow drop. And I'm like, oh, we're in the John Cena's doing shit phase.
Yes, Ryback hits what I called a sit-out jawbreaker to Cena when he's like on his back.
Oh, the backpack stunner?
Yeah. Cena gets
Okay.
tossed to the wolves.
I need you to explain something to me here.
Sure.
So Ryback does a leg drop, but the camera cuts as he does it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, what's wrong? I was just like, normal with it. It's a near fall, whatever. And then the crowd starts going, you fucked up. You fucked. And I don't know how he fucked up. Did you notice what happened there?
I don't know how you can fuck it up. I don't know what he could have done.
Cena didn't move. So I was like, oh, was it one of those situations where Cena moves out of the way or something like that? And the crowd's just like, oh, he botched it. But it didn't look like he botched it. There was a camera cut at the worst possible time.
No, yeah, it's called the Kevin Dunn special, baby. So
yes, Ryback stunner.
Ryback keeps taunting out of me. Ryback keeps taunting people by saying Ryback rules, which is like, positive affirmations.
Oh, your rules.
Positive affirmations are a good thing, but it's just a weird thing to just be like under his breath.
Ryback was a part of the O'Doyles.
Dude, Ryback, do you know Ryback loves The Secret?
Yes, I did know that, actually.
Good for him manifesting being terrible at wrestling.
O'Doyle rules.
He keeps tossing Cena out towards 3-man band. I think that's really funny.
He gets gang jumped like crazy. By the way, Drew McIntyre helping Ryback beat up John Cena after getting fucking tag teamed by Ryback and Mark Henry not too long ago is fucking hilarious.
It is pretty funny. Cena does the 5 moves of doom. He does the 5-knuckle shuffle after the setup is attempted. Cena gets tossed into onto other lumberjacks. Cena dumps Ryback to the outside. They all jump him immediately. Cena dives on everybody. Most fall down. Not R-Truth, though. He's still up. God bless that man.
R-Truth doesn't take a bump.
R-Truth just kind of looks. He's like, you could see it processing in his head. Like, look, it doesn't make sense for me to fall down.
Did you see the thing I sent you? Him getting interviewed by Cody?
No, I didn't see that.
I sent it to you and you said, I'm going to watch it. And then you never watched it, Evan.
Yeah, that's what I do with most things people send me.
You know how Cody Rhodes has been doing these like interview things for the Wheatley vodka? Like when in his truck or bus or whatever?
Yeah.
He did one with R-Truth last week. And it's fucking gold.
Oh, God, I love R-Truth.
It's so good. It's so good. You just have to watch it. I'm not going to tell you anything about it.
Okay.
Anyway, Cena does an STF. Ryback somehow turns it into a shell shock. 1, 2, 3. Ryback gets the first fall. All the lumberjacks are now gone, and we get a tables match.
We sure do get a tables match. Also, relatively clean pin of Cena when you think about it.
Yeah, they literally said before this match that Ryback had never pinned John Cena, and then just
now he did. Now he had. Ryback gets table. Cena escapes. Ryback hits what I call the standing spear. He grabs a running Cena, drives him down. There are such loud Goldberg chants. They are deafening at this point.
He hit that spear so loud or so hard that the table like fell over.
Cena goes for an FU. Ryback very smartly has his wits about him, flips the table.
Thought he was dumb, Evan.
I don't know if I've told this story in the podcast. Maybe I have. Long-time listeners. I've flipped a table before in my life.
What?
Yeah, man. So I was at this country music festival. It's like a camping music festival. I was there because
it's fucking Coachella, but country.
Essentially, like it was a 3-day festival of country music.
I
don't like country music, but I did, and I still do like girls who like country music. I just was a single man at the time, so I went. Anyways,
wait. Did you go because of a girl, or did you go to interact with women
in general? Anyways, I went with
my man went in there like, I'm a free agent. Transfer portal's open.
Franchise tag me. I went in and I went with a couple of my buddies, and I was joking to a friend of a friend. I was like, oh, like one of my dreams is to flip a table in anger. Like I think it's just so funny when you're like, I'm so mad and you flip a table. And I told that to them earlier in the day. We're walking back to our campsite, and she goes, look at that completely empty table. It's like one of those Walmart folding tables, $10. Nothing. There's nothing on it. Like there's nobody around. She's like, now's your chance to flip a table. And I was like, you're goddamn right it is. Walk over to the table. put my whole ass in it, and I just hoof. And this thing does a couple rotations. Like the Russian judge is scoring at a 9.6. Okay, like it's good. It lands. A whole campsite of people next to me go, "Did you just flip our table?" And I go, "No," like a liar. And then I left. So I got to do it. It wasn't great. Don't flip other people's tables, friends. Flip your own tables.
No, I'm flipping anyone's table. I don't give a shit. Ryback flips the table. He then gets some stairs, starts hitting Cena with it. A table gets set up in the corner. He yeets the stairs at Cena. Cena moves, and the stairs break the table. So the stairs lose the match.
Stairs have lost. Stairs are 0-1.
Yes, stairs have lost this match. Ryback, does that mean Ryback technically gets the fall? Does that mean Ryback technically won the WWE Championship?
Ryback beat Stairs for the WWE title. Cena with another table.
Two falls now. That's
sets it up. Ryback tries to crush him with Stairs, and Cena dodges, and it breaks another table. And I was like, you guys are running out of tables. Ryback tosses the steps, and Cena dodges, and the steps end up in the fucking entryway.
And people are like, what the fuck?
Yeah. 5-knuckle shuffle by Cena, spinebuster by Ryback, meat hook clothesline. Ryback sets up another table. Cena manages to avoid the shell shock, hits the FU through the table, 1-1. Table match was really quick.
Yeah, I mean, they spent so much time on the lumberjack section.
They really did. Then it's time for an ambulance match.
They go to the highway. Actually, not before Ryback powerbombs John Cena through the announce table.
Yes.
Then they go out to the entryway area where the ambulance is.
Ryback Cena is just carrying Cena like a sack of potatoes.
You know, like, have you ever carried a sack of potatoes, Evan?
Many a time.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
When the hell are you carrying sacks of potatoes?
Dude, when it's grocery day, you go to the car. There's a sack of potatoes.
I don't know, man. I never once in my life carried a sack of potatoes, so I'm like, where the fuck is this saying from?
Yeah, you never
carrying sacks of potato.
A lot of people. You didn't buy like potatoes in bulk. You weren't going to go through potatoes like that.
Just go get like 4 of those like russet potatoes in little baggies.
Just give me 4. Just give me 4 of them things.
Well, I just think because here's my thing is like the potatoes aren't gonna last more than like a week.
You keep in the right spot. Potatoes can last a couple weeks.
I'm not gonna need more than 4 potatoes in a week.
I'm talking about a family. Like I don't buy a bag of potatoes now for me and my wife, but when I lived with my siblings and my parents, like 5 of us, yeah, a bag of potatoes.
Nah.
I love how you just refuse to acknowledge the existence of sacks of potatoes. All right.
Sacks of potatoes ain't happening.
Cena slides off of Ryback's back, pushes him into the ambulance. Cena gets some crutches out. Cena dodges a punch, and Ryback punches a window. And I was like, wow, you are Goldberg. That's crazy.
Cena whips Ryback through the ambulance door, like the front, like the driver door.
Yeah, the door is open, and he hits him through it, so the door flies off its hinges.
And then rams the door into Ryback, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of like crazy. And then Cena climbs to the top of the car part, not the big back.
He's on the engine.
Yeah, he climbs up the engine. He's on top of where the drivers are, where the lights are, like the main lights for the ambulance. He unhooks that, tosses it at Ryback, who fucking no-sells it because he's up within seconds.
Yeah.
He gets to the top, meets Cena up there. They jockey around for a little bit. Cena ends up getting him in the FU position, puts him down right through the roof of the ambulance. And John Cena wins the match because Ryback went through the fucking roof of the ambulance, so he's in the ambulance.
Cena wins. Lol.
Do you think he just like had like a hole up there? Because there's obviously that shit was opened.
Yeah. My guess is they had like a sheet of paper or something thin over it, and it was like, all right, it's just right over there.
Definitely not. That shit was wide open. How do you think they did it? Do you think they just like went in there with like a fucking one of those electrical like hacksaws or whatever the fuck and just
Yes, 100%.
It's so unsafe.
I'm sure they had safety precautions.
I like to think that there are ambulances out there that have sunroofs, and this is one of them.
If I get picked up by an ambulance with a sunroof, I assume I'm seeing the last thing I'm seeing before I fucking die. If I have
a cool ambulance,
I'm dead.
Don't you? Don't you want to see like the fucking sky one more time before you go out
If
there?
I'm
You want to
bleeding
see the
out, I want
tank
them focused on it instead of them being like, it's a really nice day today. Like, get the
in the
fuck out
middle
of
of the
here.
night. It's like, hey, look, it's the Big Dipper.
Yeah, it's really nice out here with no light pollution. I'm like, I'm bleeding out, please. Can you put my intestine back in me? Thank you. I'm fucking dying here.
My nutsack is in my kidney. Please help me, sir.
Yeah. What part of ruptured testicle have you forgotten since you looked at the fucking night sky? All right. What is
I'm
it?
literally holding my big and small intestine in my own arms. Help me.
Aurora Borealis? This, please help me. In the meantime, after this feud, we get some Ryback. It was just cool. It was
He's a
Ryback and
Paul
Curtis
Heyman
Axel.
guy.
He becomes a Paul Heyman guy. After a 2-month injury, he comes back as a face, returns to the Feed Me More gimmick, breaks up with Axel. Then, after a little bit of time, that was back in November, and then it gets to the Elimination Chamber 2015, and there's an Intercontinental Championship match. You got Ryback, you got Sheamus, you got King Barrett, you got Dolph Ziggler, you got R-Truth, and you got your surprise competitor, Mark Henry, who was replacing Rusev.
It
This
was
is
so bad,
this is
Evan.
an Elimination Chamber match. It's also in famous hot spot for good crowds, Corpus Christi.
Oh my god, everything about this was fucking terrible. Like,
So here's the thing: I like most of the people in this match.
yes, but the problem is Mark Henry was the wild card, and they had like kind of built it up a little bit. I was like, oh, I wonder who it's gonna be, and then it was Mark fucking Henry. This is for Daniel Bryan's vacated title that he had to
Mhm.
vacate because he had the concussion issues. He had to go away for 3 years or whatever the hell it was.
Yep.
And I knew a babyface was going to win this match because Bryan Danielson is right there. He's going to give the title to someone, and they're not going to have Sheamus, who's a heel at the time, win the title.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I wonder what conquering babyface is going to be in the thing because I don't really think anybody in the match right now is
Is
like
that?
going to win the title.
Yep.
And then it was Mark Henry, and I was like,
And it's not even the worst Mark Henry thing. We'll get to that in a minute. A couple things to remember. This is the weird era where Dolph Ziggler remembered that he was a Division I wrestler and started wrestling like it and taking his graps really seriously. And honestly, I kind
yes,
of dug it. I actually like that for Ziggler.
he was over there doing real graps with Wade Barrett to open the match.
Yeah.
JBL makes a Ragnar Lothbrok reference, which I was
Who?
like, you've never seen Vikings?
No.
Like the show?
I assume you meant the show and not the actual
Oh,
people.
no, you should watch Vikings. It's actually a really good show.
Barrett hits a big clothesline, sends Ziggler into the grates to the
Ragnar
outside.
Lothbrok is the main character, by the way.
Slams Ziggler into Ryback's pod and the change. The next man in is R-Truth. I love R-Truth.
Yes, he does a scissor kick. He doesn't even get to get out of his pod for a little bit. Wade
Barrett
Barrett's
meets
right
him in the
there
pod and runs him.
beating his ass. He does a scissor kick. Barrett does a big boss slam for a near fall. I didn't call it a black hole slam because it's not good enough to be a black hole slam. So I called it a big boss slam or boss man slam because
Yeah.
don't care about that one.
And next week, Big Boss Man on House Month. Big Hoss Man.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, big boss man slam. It's great. Definitely tune into that episode. Barrett
We're gonna watch him fight nails, and it's gonna be so fucking chaotic.
Barrett kicks the shit out of Dolph Ziggler for a near fall. And I know I had seen this match and that it's like fucking 9 years old at this point, which is kind of crazy because I was watching this live.
Oh god.
Yes, this is 9 years old. And I was like, did Dolph Ziggler just get Bret Harted? Like, did Goldberg just take out Bret Hart in the form of Wade Barrett taking out Ziggler here?
Where he's just gonna refer to him as exclusively as Wade Barrett for the rest of time.
That's tough.
Then we get the problem. The problem happens. So
well,
let's talk about the problem. Barrett tosses Ziggler into Mark Henry's pod. Ziggler goes through the plexiglass, and so Mark Henry's pod is open, and he isn't sure if he should come out of the pod or not. And Mike Chioda's
he's not supposed to come out.
He is not supposed to come out yet. This is not the plan. Mike Chioda's like, stay there, and then he's like, I'm gonna fucking do it. Watch me. And he comes out, and he's just like, I'm part of this match now, and it throws the whole thing off.
Yeah, because the buzzer goes off like 8 seconds later, and
Literally
it's
8 seconds. So Ryback attacks Mark Henry. Hoss fight. You're all welcome. 2 count of shoulder tackle. Then we get some of the worst things ever. So Ryback's working over Barrett. Spinebuster for 2. Ryback's actually, in terms of he gets a lot of good shine in this match, which just makes sense. He's going
Yes.
to win the title. He gets a lot of good
What are you
shine.
talking about?
Sorry, spoilers. Ryback tossed over the ropes. Ziggler does a crucifix for 2. This whole time that Ryback, Barrett, and Ziggler are working, Mark Henry is just standing there, just kind of watching, just kind of like, yeah, I'll let you guys do that. You know the way that your shitty friend plays 2K, where he's like, yeah, no, I'm gonna wait. You guys wrestle, and then I'll come in with a bulldog.
That's me.
Yeah, okay, so Javier's the shitty friend. It's the worst. He's just standing there.
Barrett does a wasteland to Ziggler, and Mark Henry breaks it up because Barrett was talking that shit earlier.
If you didn't think that it could get worse, Mark Henry breaks up a pin in an elimination chamber match. God damn it.
Dolph super kick. Ryback does like a corner face drop onto the top turnbuckle. A truth is the lie detector. 1, 2, 3. Wade Barrett's gone.
You know how people make fun of John Cena for being loud and calling spots in his matches? You know how that's like a thing? I have never heard a full conversation before until right now. So, all the remaining men in the ring, Truth, Ziggler, Ryback, and Henry are all in the ring.
Sheamus is technically supposed to be there.
That's true. Sheamus' thing is gone off. He's just kind of blocked off the pot. Anyways, Dolph
The pot
Ziggler.
won't open.
Dolph Ziggler is actively telling them what the plan is. They're all like squaring off, making it look like they're waiting to see what's going to happen. Ziggler's like, okay, I'm going to go after Sheamus. Mark, go after Truth. We do it on 3. And I'm like, God bless Dolph Ziggler for calling this match.
Yeah, no one else is going to do it. Ryback, Truth, and Ziggler team up on Henry. They turn on each other eventually, like right away almost. Yeah. Ryback gets a shell shock to Truth to eliminate him. Long vertical suplex to Dolph Ziggler. And then Sheamus removes his chain, like his little cross that he has, from like the doors of the pod that I guess he was using to block the pod. I didn't notice that until he took it off. The pod opens up because everyone's down at that point. He yeets Dolph Ziggler through a pod.
Yep.
Does a running splash. Or Mark Henry does a running splash to him for near fall in a little bit. He then hits a bro kick to Henry to eliminate him.
So down to Sheamus, Ziggles, Ryback.
Dolph does his like extra as hell DDT.
I love it so much.
It's good stuff.
It's such good stuff. He hangs up there forever. I know it's on the guy to hold him. Like I know that you don't have to ruin the sense of believing people, the mystique. I get it. I know that it's part of the act. I still like it.
And then we get some dumb shit. So he does a super kick to Ryback. That's not the dumb shit. Famous or to Sheamus, who just treats it like Sting getting hit by a fucking chair.
No sell.
Just an absolute no sell. He gets up with Dolph. Like, Dolph isn't even selling. He hits the move and pops up immediately. So does Sheamus.
You didn't know that Sheamus was the Irish Ultimate Warrior, did you?
Sheamus meets him with a bro kick. 1, 2, 3. Ziggles is gonzo.
Power slam by Sheamus for a 2 count. Ryback with a power slam. Goes for a meat hook. Sheamus rolls to the grates on the outside. Sheamus wants to get back in his pod and avoid Ryback, which is a bad long-term strategy, but good short-term. Him and Ryback are brawling on the outside. Sheamus does a white noise on the steel grate, which had to suck.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of muscle there.
I don't care. Anything landing on that steel grate looks like it sucks, just fundamentally.
Yes. Sheamus does the rolling senton on the grates, which that one must have sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Ryback does a power bomb onto the chains and then into the ring. He hits the shell shock. 1, 2, 3. Ryback wins the match. He is the new IC champion. Daniel Bryan gets into the ring. He says, "Do you guys think that he deserves the Intercontinental Championship? Because I think that he does." Gives Ryback the title. He gives him the mic. Ryback's like, "Hey, you're not just an inspiration to these people. You're an inspiration to me. Blah, blah, blah. This is such an unfortunate moment."
It's not great.
I hate it.
So, do you remember who takes the title off Ryback?
Wait, I got this.
You do. Enter your mind palace. You got this.
It's not Wade Barrett.
It's not Wade Barrett.
It's obviously not Sheamus.
It's
Is it
not
The
Sheamus.
Miz? No.
It's not The Miz.
Wait for it.
You got this. What a pull it will be.
Kevin Owens.
It's Kevin Owens. Well fucking done. Ryback would defeat Rusev to another title shot at Hell in a Cell, where he then lost Owens again. Then he had some things like he had that feud with Kalisto, where they had a U.S. title match
U.S. title. That was on the pre-show
of WrestleMania 32. It's a weird thing. He had a shot at the U.S. title at Payback pre-show, but was again defeated, which was actually his last
Changed
appearance.
his gear.
His last appearance in WWE. It was reported that they sent him home from TV due to a contract dispute, and he did not participate in the Battle Royal for which he was scheduled. I would like for you to guess where Ryback vented his frustrations. What medium did he choose?
What is the Truth Freedom or whatever the fuck?
Truth Social? No,
it
doesn't exist yet.
Twitter, IG, Reddit,
no.
Facebook, MySpace.
Okay, you're getting closer. The following day, Ryback explained on his Tumblr page that right between gifs of Doctor Who and ships on Supernatural, that he had made the decision to go home, citing a lack of equal pay for talent and creative frustration as primary reasons for his departure. And then we would wait.
Equal pay for talent is crazy, brother. Do you think did he think he should be earning as much as like Cena?
I don't know,
Roman Reigns,
but it was in between some Hope Core Pixo pics that were on Tumblr. Anyways, on August 5th, Reeves announced via Instagram that he and WWE had parted ways. He didn't get released for another 3 days after that.
Question mark?
TBH, I think you're cool. Ryback has an interesting
for rating,
an interesting reputation, we'll say, in the
where should the big guy go
in the world of wrestling. Obviously that his opinions on YouTube are controversial. People are hit and miss with him.
He's got his own like protein shake. He's got his own like the entire health line, which I don't know who's ordering it, but I've never seen anything about it, and I've gone to like 4 different gyms that are pretty popular in the area.
Yeah.
So
like there are people who count themselves as Ryback fans. Like people who have said like he's done good things. On Wikipedia, they specifically list Wade Barrett and Mick Foley and Mark Henry. Like a lot of people
heard Mick Foley like genuinely say something bad about someone unless it's Donald Trump
or Al Snow. But that's fun.
Yeah, but he does that in good fun.
Al Snow's one of his best friends, and he does that to piss on him. Now, other people, have had some bad things to say about Mr. Ryback. He was the most overrated wrestler in the 2012 Wrestling Observer Newsletter Awards. He botched his shell shock move on Tensai a bunch of times, which people said was hard to watch. In November 2014, Punk labeled him as a steroid guy and said that wrestling him, quote, took 20 years off of his life, and claiming that Ryback broke his ribs on purpose.
That's true.
Yeah.
He did say that.
So, yeah, it's not all great, but I want to know, what do you think of Ryback?
I don't think highly of the guy, I can tell you that. I think that Ryback played a role that is something that we should see more of in wrestling, because it works. When it works, it really fucking works. Like, look at AEW a few years ago, how fucking over Wardlow.
Yeah.
Like Braun Breaker at NXT. Like it works when you really put a guy over and you make him this destructive force. It almost always works if they can actually, work.
Yeah.
Like if they can actually wrestle and hold their own. Like you really have to have the perfect mix of a talent in order to do so. But I think when you get these like truly talented guys who are very, big and explosive and are able to do stuff like a, Goldberg run, if you want to call it that, or like just like a monster run where they have a little bit of an undefeated streak going, can cut promos, like stuff like that. Like it's a good, I think it's a good place to start someone when they reach the main show or main roster, whatever you want to call it, regardless of company. I think it's a good thing to have.
Hmm.
Um, I can also see it kind of pigeonholing people
Yeah, it's
because
this is a
it's
tough thing to keep up and keep interesting.
yeah, which is the Wardlow problem. It's the what I mean, actually, not even because Wardlow lost and then it still was hot as it gets.
Yeah,
Same thing with Braun Breaker. He lost and was still super hot in NXT. It's a matter of you have to find the right talent in order to do it, and I do not think Ryback was that kind of guy. He's big, he's powerful, he's all this stuff, but the guy, he's not interesting. He's not a good worker, and he's an even less good human being. So,
yeah,
as far as the package to be able to pull something off like that, he wasn't the guy to do it. But WWE wasn't known for having guys do that at that during that time period.
yeah.
So it was cool to see in 2012 and into 2013. But once the shine wore off of him after that feud with Punk and then with Cena, he was just never going to go anywhere.
I
And
think it was interesting that like as a babyface, very popular because like people liked it and it was novel and like we really hadn't seen something like that in a while of just like,
yeah,
hey, here's just a big fucking powerful guy, and he was really good in that role. He really, really, really was. But the shelf life of that is short. So turning heel was the right call. It's just when we turned heel, there was nothing to latch onto with his heel character. He was just a big
no,
bully, and it felt
disingenuous.
yeah, it felt weird. Like it just felt off. Like even I remember like being excited. I was genuinely excited when he was going to feud with Kalisto. I was like, this is a good matchup. Kalisto does well with big guys. Like I think this will be cool. And then I was just the whole time I was like, okay.
It's
Like I
him, man. He's not a good wrestler. He's
yeah.
just not. Like the reason why Braun Breaker can lose to Sami Zayn at Money in the Bank and still be crazy over is because he's fucking good. You know, like you see it with him. Like these guys tend, like look at Goldberg. Goldberg just had this it factor to him. Braun Breaker has this it factor to him. Wardlow used to have an it factor to him, and then it got fucking sucked right out of him.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate. But we know, I think that when, like I said, when the right talent comes along, it works. And Ryback was not the talent that was going to make it work after he finally suffered a loss. And he suffered many a losses to the top guys in WWE at the time, and it just absolutely ruined him because it cut it cut the what is that thing they put you on when you're like you can't breathe or whatever,
The
ventilator?
ventilator?
It cut the ventilator on his entire like wrestling
Yeah.
being. And once that happened, he wasn't able to breathe on his own, so he got sucked out.
Yeah, there's just a little bit more. Like, I really think part of this is also on WWE not knowing what to do with him, like not genuinely knowing like how to develop his character, and that's it's partly on him and his ability to do the character. But at the same time, WWE famously with some of these big guys, it's just like, especially around this time frame, it's just like, yeah, you're huge, that's enough. Like Vince,
Tensai, baby.
Vince loved to be like, you're big and that's enough, and so you kind of feel bad. All right. Next week, I already mentioned who we got. It's the Big Boss Man. It's going to be fucking rad. It's going to be cool.
Shout out to
Cobb
Ray
County,
Taylor.
baby. We're going to talk about him feeding Al Snow his dog and stealing Big Show's dad's corpse. It's going to fucking rule. If you didn't know those two things happened, now you do, and you have reason to tune in next week. You should follow us on social media. Javier, tell the people where you are.
I'm on the Twitter machine at JMelloSports. Lob the kid a follow.
You can follow me at It's Evan Gomes, ITSEVANGOMES. Follow the podcast, most importantly, on Twitter at Crossbody of Work and on Instagram at the same handle. If you're not watching this on YouTube, why? Oh, you're driving? Figure it out. Just kidding. You can follow us on YouTube for all of our stuff, plus extra bonus content. We just did a whole month of John Cena related content. We did
John.
a tier list of his best opponents. We have a draft of his best matches and moments. It's lots of good stuff. All of our episodes are up there. You can go and find them wherever you check out your YouTube. Wherever you're listening, be sure to rate 5 stars. If you're watching on YouTube, nice to see you. How are you? How many fingers am I holding up? Make sure that you comment down below with people you want to see and like the video. It helps with the engagement. And we're just trying to continue building on this wonderful thing we've already been doing for 220 some odd episodes. It is time for everyone's favorite part of the podcast. Javier, any final words for the people?
This week on Life Advice with Javier. Evan, I'm watching SummerSlam with people who don't watch wrestling.
Oh, God.
And My advice this week is something that, I don't even say it's advice. It's more so just like a fun thing to do. If you have friends who don't watch wrestling, wrestling is fucking absurd. So
Yes.
I'm not saying like just turn on X pay-per-view and have them watch it. Like that's not what I mean. But SummerSlam I think is pretty good for it because we've got the Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio, Rhea
There's a
Ripley
lot,
thing
lot of
going.
stories
You
happening.
know, there's the CM Punk, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins thing. There's like the Bloodline versus Cody Rhodes. There's all this stuff that's going to happen on that pay per view. There's a little something for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it's kind of the right mix. So if this is probably coming out after SummerSlam, anyways, or not probably.
It
It's
is
going
on
to
the
be
Monday after
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
So you can't really do that. But there will come a pay per view, probably Bad Blood. Who knows? A little down the line, maybe it's War Games in November, where you can get a friend who does not watch wrestling to go and watch it with you. And this isn't going to make them a wrestling fan necessarily. I'm not expecting two of my best friends to become wrestling fans off of this, but it's just a good hang
It's a fun
with
hang.
the boys, with the gals can come too. Hell, just the friends. We don't have to gender them.
Yeah.
They could pull up as well.
Yeah.
Just
Ladies,
everybody get together, have a good time,
the
enjoy
greatest
some.
the greatest gender neutral greetings are either gentlemen, ladies, and ladies, which I think is very funny, or men, women, and
Vagabonds.
non-binary finery.
Nah, just say what up,
I
vagabonds.
say friends a lot. It's a lot of hey friends, how's it going? The thing that I'm getting from your pitch, and it's a general thing.
Yes.
When people are welcoming you into their world, be interested and ask questions and genuinely show
You
interest
don't have to do
in
that.
things people are doing. Just be nice about it. Be cool.
Yeah, just pull up.
Just pull up.
Like let's say you're not a big superhero person, and your friend wants to take you to watch Deadpool and Wolverine. You don't have to like the movie. Just pull up.
Support your
Just pull
friends.
up. Yeah,
I will
just
be watching
hey,
that
it's a
movie.
hangout, man.
I will have watched that movie by the time that you hear this because I am going
Love
tomorrow.
that for you.
Going Saturday. I'm gonna go I might go during the day. Little
Ooh,
matinee. Little
nice
matinee
little,
McConaughey.
nice little tuned Deadpool.
That's right. It's gonna be a good time. All right, let's get out of here because I am 1,000 degrees. I turned my air conditioning off to record this episode so you wouldn't hear it on the microphone.
I
I'm
tried to
melting
extend it as
away.
much as I could for that exact reason.
This is poor people Ozempic. I am fucking melting away. All right. We will be back next week to cover the big boss man as Haas 5 Haas month rolls on. We will talk to you then.
Later, guys.